I'm about to end this man's whole career.
What career?
But I'm not a rapper.
What career?
Look.
So now let's get the full meaning of there being no difference between a Jew and a Gentile. So Romans 2:9 through 11, and it reads, "Tribulation and anguish upon every soul of man that doeth evil, of the Jew first, and also of the Gentile. But glory, honor, and peace to every man that worketh good, to the Jew first, and also to the Gentile. For there is no respect of persons with Yahweh." As we know, tribulation represents persecution, trouble, and other forms of distress that are sent to the wicked nations and people all over the earth. So if you tried to say this verse was talking about Israelites only, you are now saying the Lord doesn't send tribulation to the heathen who sin, which goes against Jeremiah 10:25.
Get the fuck out of here, bitch! Woo!
With that being said, the Gentiles in this verse are literal heathen, and we know this is the case due to the words every soul, making all people the subject matter. But now that we know both Israelites and heathen can be punished for being wicked, let's address the back end of the verse above. So in this life, those who believe will not get glory, honor, peace, or even respect from the world, which is why Luke 17:10 calls us unprofitable servants. But 2 Chronicles 15:7 shows us that our works will be rewarded in the end, and this is when we will get honor, glory, and peace through salvation. With this being said, after the beginning of the verse made all men the subject matter, it then tells all men that they have the chance to receive salvation-based blessings as long as they do good works. And it doesn't matter if they are an Israelite or a Gentile. For those who don't know, your works are done when you keep the law, have faith on the Father, Yahweh, and believe in the Messiah, Yahweh Shah, while teaching others to do the same as it is written in Hebrews 6:10, Matthew 5:19, Mark 11:22, and John 14:6. And as verse 11 shows, all men can be rewarded for these works because there is no respect of persons with Yahweh. Now let's address how the heathen could enter into the covenant. As I've explained in other videos, we are still in the old covenant. And since the inception of this covenant, strangers have always been allowed to partake. Deuteronomy 29:10 through 15 shows strangers entering into the covenant from the beginning, alongside all Israelites who were present and absent, dead or alive. Also, Isaiah 56:6 shows us strangers who are not initially involved can still take hold of the covenant in order for others to be saved outside of the nation of Israel, as it is written in Isaiah 56:8. When we move to the New Testament, we are still in the old covenant. But now we have grace through the Messiah's sacrifice. And as we went over earlier, 1 Timothy 2:5 through 8 said that sacrifice was made for all people. This sacrifice also kept the door open for Gentiles to take hold of that covenant, which can be proven by debunking the common understanding of the conversion of Cornelius. With this being said, most people will tell you that the Gentiles in the New Testament are Israelites, and that the door of salvation through Yahweh's sacrifice was only open to these Gentile Israelites after Cornelius was converted. This is wrong due to the door being open to all Israelites from the moment the sacrifice took place. We can prove this due to Peter's target audience being all Israelites in the world before Cornelius was ever brought up, as it is written in Acts 2:39. So when we fast forward and see Israelites surprised that Cornelius could receive the Holy Spirit in Acts 10:44 through 45, it would only make sense if Cornelius was not an Israelite. As I just showed you, the Israelite bloodline as a whole was already the ministry's target. So why would the conversion of Cornelius be a big deal if he was part of that bloodline?
That don't make no sense.
Don't say it's because he was Hellenized. Being Hellenized doesn't change your bloodline in the eyes of the Father, Son, or Holy Spirit. So you have to come harder than that. The point is, the covenant was always open to the other nations on an individual basis. And the Messiah's sacrifice didn't change this in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Instead, it solidified the concept. So to wrap this up, there is no doctrine that can debunk Gentile salvation. It's not about if I'm right or if I'm wrong. It's about what the Bible actually said. And if your doctrine can be pulled apart and dismantled with the words all men, you should be the last person making videos against the topic.
I mean, really, you're kind of weak.
I will say this, those who remain against the truth could at least go into some big boy verses like Romans 5:18, Acts 17:26 through 27, and 2 Ezra 2:33 through 34. Or they could address 2 Ezra 1:24 through 40 and Matthew 25:31 through 46 without skipping a single verse. You niggas is not slick. Or maybe they could explain to their congregation why they ignored the strangers and people in Isaiah 14:1 through 2 being defined as two separate people in the Strong's Concordance, while giving them separate judgments of either uniting with Israel in the kingdom or being enslaved.
How? 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 I don't know. I don't know. That's what I thought.
Many refuse to touch these verses directly because they simply don't have an answer. Instead, we get the same tired, incorrect, and unlearned breakdowns on verses like Isaiah 49:6 and Acts 13:47. It is what it is though, but over here we will continue to eat the whole roll, as it is written in Ezekiel 3:1. As long as we keep moving like this, we won't ever have to avoid a verse or a breakdown, while the rest will continue in unlearned instability until they get destroyed. As it is written in 2 Peter 3:16. Lord willing, whoever had ears to hear was further edified. Shalom.
You know what, though? I'm tired of old people. I'm tired of old people saying what they want to say to us and hurting our feelings and walking off. Old people say anything like they ain't said nothing and just walk off. You know, you taught as a child when an old person say something to you, you don't talk back. But now I am an adult. I let their ass have it.